What up, YouTube? Back with another video for you. I emptied out yesterday in Ogden yesterday morning. I only had 2 hours left of my recap, so my dispatcher told me he had a load for me today. Just go chill out and we'll load up in the morning. So I headed down here to Cedar City, Utah. We have a Charlotte pipe down here, and it's, as you can see, it's nothing but PVC pipe. And this load's going to Stockton, California. Once I get to Stockton, I get a load going towards the house. Grandson's due any day now, so gotta hurry up and get home. Load weighs about 34 and a half. Pretty easy load. Like I always preach about half twists. I made a boo-boo and I forgot to put half twists on these bellies, but it's so short I don't think the wind's gonna bother it. I remember to do it in the back, but I forgot to do it in the front. But I did do half twists on the tall straps going up and over the load, the tall parts. All of them have half twists. The only thing I don't like about this load is this stuff right here. I've never had to haul this before. I've never had this stuff. And you try to tighten it down and you start breaking that wood right there. And I've got it decently tight, but it's just something that, I'm gonna really keep my eyes on, because it's just something I really don't like. And they don't have it centered either. It looks centered from the video, but it's actually all the way to the other side. So I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. Got to make money. Got belly straps back here. Now with this place, anybody who, any flappers who are familiar with this place or are not familiar with this place, what's good about this place, you're thinking, how did you get straps in there for bellies if trying to fit your straps to there? Well, the good thing about this company is they have a lot of common sense, unlike some companies. And they actually put their own little mini straps through there. And then when you come along, you just tie your straps to their strap and pull it through. And that is how you get your belly straps in. It's one thing I really like about that Charlotte pipe, because pipe is in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous loads you can haul. Because this pipe, no matter how tight you get it, if it wants to move, it's going to move. And it's just one of those things that's really, really dangerous, because it can move. Charlotte pipe is really good about loading. They're really good about that. They really know what they're doing. They've been doing it for, I don't know how long they've been in business, but they've been in business, I'm assuming, for a very long time. And they really know what they're doing, so they load really well. This is the other side. Another thing I didn't like, I'm not too happy about this load, is this wood right here, which I cranked down on anyways. As soon as you start putting pressure on it at all, this wood started just breaking and cracking. Like, I'll show you, like right here. It cracked there, and it's cracking, well, it's bowing right through here. But I heard it crack, and I just kept going with the strap and made it tight. Cause I knew eventually it's gonna stop and just pressure with the other ones, because the pipe, you're not gonna break that. The wood, wasn't as lucky. But I got the big pipes up top, and then, just to make sure this stuff's going to I've been to, it's a business called Ferguson, and I'm pretty sure I've been there a couple of times. Not this one in Stockton, but Ferguson's across the different parts of the country, and I think it's just like a big supply chain, almost like a Lowe's, if I'm thinking of the same store I'm thinking about. But from what all my flatbed buddies are telling me, they're really quick about unload and reload, or not reload, but unloading. And my appointment's set for the 10th. Today's the 8th. I don't know if I'll get the video up today, but today is the 8th, Tuesday. And it's due on Thursday, but I will be there tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna get hold of my dispatch and see if he can maybe get me an appointment for tomorrow instead of Thursday. But if he can't, it is what it is. I'm gonna see if they have overnight parking. I'll just sleep there. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But that's pretty much the load right there. Pretty simple. Just throw some straps over it. I put 4 over the top, and then my bellies, 4 over the top, and my bellies, and then the 2 right there in the middle. So it's not going anywhere. I hope not, anyways. You know what I mean? But that's about it. I will try to get a video of this unloading. The Fergusons I have been to, they don't even let you out of your truck. They let you out just to unstrap, and you have to get back in your truck again. So I know those videos are kind of boring because you really can't see what's going on because I'm inside the truck. But I will do what I can. If not, then if I can't get an unload video, then I'll just get a video of my next load. But that's it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I guess to go ahead and kind of let know where everybody's going on, because my life's pretty much not private anymore now that I'm doing this YouTube stuff. The original plan was for me to go home like on Thanksgiving, and then my wife come back out with me, and then we just stay out for Christmas. But my wife, you know, with my daughter being a first-time mother, and she's young, she's 19, my wife wants to stay there with her. So we're going to, I'm going to go home this Friday, I'm going to try to get home this Friday or this weekend, which is between the 11th and the 14th, because Friday is the 11th. And the latest you can be induced for labor is 14th. So, and I'm going to stay until the 18th, which is the day after my wife's birthday. And then I'll stay out, I'll miss Thanksgiving, and I'll just come back for Christmas. So I end up being out for a whole nother month without my wife. So it's going to be kind of weird because I'm not used to being with my wife like this. So it's going to be something. But you know, our daughter needs my wife right now. So, and I got to keep running, keep making money. So it's one of those things, you know. You just got to do what you got to do. It's part of being a parent, sacrifice you got to make. Truck driver, the sacrifice you got to make. That's why anybody who wants to drive a truck, I'm gonna be honest with you, like stuff like this is the stuff that you gotta ask yourself, can you sacrifice things like this? Can you sacrifice being away from your family like this? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Think about that in your head. You know, it's not all about me. The money's nice, don't get me wrong. I mean, I make more money than I've ever made in my life. I own things I never thought I'd ever own, ever. Every vehicle that I own, I paid off straight up. It's in my, you know, I don't have no payments on it. But there's a lot of sacrifices that come along with that. So think about that when you're wanting to come out and drive a truck. Think about the sacrifices. You know, I think you can handle that. You know, you don't want to come out here and, because I'm not saying don't come out here and get your CDLs. CDLs is the greatest things I have. But don't come out here and do all your training and be with your family just to turn around and go home. Because then you are away from your family for no reason. You know, if you want to come out here and do this, think about that. You know, talking to your wife and make sure she can handle you being away for a month, you know, weeks on end, if not months on end, you know. But if you can do all that and come out here and drive a truck, this is the best career, in my opinion, that you could ever have. I love this career. I get to meet new people every day. I get to see new places every day. Even though I've been to every state across this country except for Rhode Island, I'm still finding I still get to see new things all the time, and I love every minute of it. So just think about that, you know. But I'm gonna get on the road. I can get down the road. I'm gonna stop in Barstow tonight and sleep. But I will get a video. Hopefully they unload me tomorrow, and I'll get a video out tomorrow. I'll probably upload this video once I get uploaded, so it could be tomorrow or the next day before this video gets uploaded. But until then, y'all stay safe. Keep the sunny side up. Keep the wheels on the ground, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace. What's going on, YouTube? Well, we made it. We're out here in Stockton. It's been a long morning. I've been driving since about 11:30 last night. It's now 7:30 local time. So what ended up happening was I sent a message to my dispatcher, told him what my ETA was, and he got a hold of our sales department, and our sales department felt that I couldn't make it for whatever reason. My dispatcher told him, like, look, Steven will make it. Steven's going to be there at 7, 8, and as early as 7 a.m. on tomorrow morning. Well, sales said that then they tried to say that the shipper had already made an appointment with the receiver that it's supposed to be delivered tomorrow at 10. Today is the 9th. Tomorrow on the 10th at 7 a.m. And it was pretty much out of my dispatcher's hands. Sales didn't want to really deal with it. And so I took it upon myself, which I do this all the time. If I'm not satisfied with the appointment, if I think I can make it early, I call, and it's something you guys need, like, if you're gonna be a lease operator too, it's something you need to, you know, learn to do. The number they originally gave me on my load assignment was for this business, but a different location. So I Googled the address, found the business I was looking for, and got their number, and I called. Told them the situation. I said, look, I'm only 5 hours away, because I was already shut down at the time. I'm only 5 hours away. I can be there as early as 7 a.m. And they were really cool about it. Like, all right, no problem. If you can be here by 7 before everybody else gets here, we'll get you unloaded. I got here. At that time, I was looking to get here at 6:37 in the morning. 6:37. And I don't do the speed limit in California, not for trucks. California speed limit is ridiculous. So I ended up getting here like 20 minutes earlier. So I ended up getting here like at 6:10. 6 something like that. So I got here and got unstrapped, and they're now currently unloading me. Sure y'all can see that. They're bringing, I don't know why they brought another forklift for. I'm not sure what's going on, but this guy right here, he's on the behemoth of a forklift. I don't know if you can see that right there in the little mirror there. I usually don't like getting out when they're doing stuff like this, especially with pipe. It's just not my thing. They didn't say I couldn't get out, but I'm not taking a chance with it, so I'm just going to stay in the truck. And they're grabbing it now over there. But this ended up being on the port here in Stockton, California. The water's right there, the big container ship right there. The water is just basically right there. I don't understand it. There's something that really confuses me about these places. Is I've been to some ports where they want, you might as well give them your whole life story, and they want to know back. You know, I swear they do background checks and everything. I've had a port do a background check on me before, which I have no problem with that. I'm not hiding anything. I've never been to jail. I've never been arrested. I've never done none of that stuff. But then you come to ports like this, where they just look at your driver's license and just let you roll through the gate, and don't even really ask you what you're doing there for. They just let you go. And that's always been kind of weird to me, because it's like, you know, we're talking about a port. This is the whole reason why I got a TWIC card. But he's grabbing it now. He's using the Big Daddy forklift now. I don't know if maybe he thinks, it looks like, because up here, right up there on top, that's the other forklift. So I'm thinking, what I'm assuming is he is, they're using that forklift over there to keep it from sliding the trailer, and just grabbing it all on. Yeah, that's what they're doing. He just pushed all the way to the other side there, and so you're just gonna pick up one whack. So that works for me, if that's how they want to unload it. Makes it a whole lot faster. I like places like this, when they use big forklifts like that, they don't play around. But it is nothing but pipe, pretty much out here. Nothing but pipe. I'm hauling, well, you already guys know, and earlier in the video, but that's basically what I'm hauling, is that stuff right there. This ended up being, I didn't know they had flatbeds, but this ended up being like a UPS yard, and it's just a UPS yard they use to front, or not front, but you know, you bring stuff in and they take it out and they distribute it or take it to wherever they take it, I guess. But I didn't even know UPS had flatbed, but now I do. I'd heard they did, but I'd never seen it. But I thought that was pretty cool. So that's basically where we're at right now. There goes my stuff right there. He's taking it away. I don't know what I'm getting next. I talked to my dispatcher this morning, and he doesn't know where they might send me. But I still had, you know, I got a home counter set, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll check back in with y'all guys when I get my next load. Morning, YouTube. Another beautiful day in California. So I got my load, and before I show you the load, I have no words to explain this load. All I can say is that I will never go back to the shipper again. The only reason why I didn't leave this place and not take the load at all is because I have to go home with my grandson. But I can tell you this one night right now. If I'm ever in this situation again, and this is the load they got to get me home, I'll just drive empty. I'll pay my own fuel and not take a load at all to my house. That's how bad this load is. So they told me, a couple people had been to this place before, and they said, oh, it's blocked, it's like crushed cans, and they make it to a cube and you put it in your truck. Well, my luck that it is, I didn't get none of that garbage. I got all of this nonsense. Now this doesn't look too bad. This is, I can deal with this. That's easy to secure. But it's these that I don't like. Now I know you look and say, well, what's wrong with it? I don't see nothing wrong with it. Okay, let me get in closer and I'll show you what's wrong with it. There's not one good pallet on this whole load. That's the first off. Even these pallets are broken on the other side. Then on top of that, none of them are straight. They're not even really touching. They're just kind of set in there. They're all crooked. They all look like that nonsense. And I threw a fit. And I was like, hey, you know, if you're gonna load this, load it right. And no, they wouldn't fix it. They wouldn't do it the way I wanted it. You know, and I wasn't asking for much. I was just asking, hey, you know, if you're gonna put the pallets on there, at least get them together nice and bunch of tight. Don't leave these big gaps like this. You know, you're putting half-assed pallets on here. I mean, look at this. And this is ridiculous. You know, like this right here, this is just waiting to fly off and hit somebody. I got that in the garbage. And it's just a nonsense load, really, to be honest with you. And it's just scrap aluminum going to scrap aluminum place in Spokane, Washington, which is about 2.5 hours, 3 hours from my house. So I'll be dead heading home once I get there. I'll be there, I think, tonight. And since I sat all day, I got a 10-hour break in, so I was going to end up driving all night until about 5 o'clock this morning. But about midnight, I started dozing off because I battled this low. First, a couple big things happened. First, he overweighted my drives. My drives were overweight. And I told it that these two back boxes were in the very front. And I told him, I said, dude, you need to put these in the back. They're too heavy. I'm right at 34,000 on my drives, and I still have to get fuel. And he argued and argued that it was fine, that, you know, I was over exaggerating. And finally it got to the point where I told him, if you don't take those off the front and move them in the back, either I'm not leaving this yard until you do it, or I'm gonna call the police and make you take it off my truck, because I'm not legal. And he argued and argued and argued, and finally he moved it. And he finally moved it, and then just basically bounced out. And that's it. You know, I pretty much just I secured it the best way I knew how. I tried to put a strap, and any experienced flatbedders who might watch these videos, this is the kind of time where I'm kind of asking for advice. I did try to put an X strap right here, or a strap over it to kind of hold this. You know, it's not moved, it's stayed put this whole time. But I was trying to think of something to kind of keep it just for safety reasons. But every time I put my strap down, I would tighten it down, it'd slip off. So like last night, I had to stop and take it off because it kept I would tighten it, and then I'd drive a little while, and then I put half twist on both sides, keep the wind from moving it, and it would eventually just slip off the thing, and I'd see it flapping in the wind. And so I just took it off. But it's just been one of those things. And then on top of that, so anybody with advice or kind of little tricks, I would love to hear them. I know it sounds dumb, but it looks worse than what it doesn't look as bad as it really is. Like, it has a really good sharp curve to it. And then to finish off this load this morning, I was parked where Schneider is up there, but I couldn't. There was no other spots but that up there, and I was leaning real hard to the right, so all my fuel kind of moved to one side. And so I was going back down here where it's level, and when I was warming up, idling, warming up, it'll level the fuel out, so that way I know accurately how much fuel I have. And I was backing up, and a truck came, and he was on his phone or something. He was looking down, and he wasn't paying attention to me. And before I move, air back up, I blow my air horn twice. Let people, they can hear it, they know I'm moving. I have my four-ways on, and he just wasn't paying attention, and he almost side flipped me. So I had to like turn and stop. Well, it put me in a position where I was then stuck up against that curb, and I pulled forward, and I thought I cleared it because it looked like I cleared it from the mirror, and I backed up, and it pushed the mudflap just enough where it caught my drive and it ripped it off. So now I have no mudflap. So now I'm gonna have to stop somewhere at a truck stop and get one and put it on, because I've heard that as long as you have a trailer, you're fine. But in California, I'm not taking a chance. They love making extra money on drivers, so I'm not trying to give them any of my money. But that's the low. Oh, okay. And then I put X straps. I gotta go through here and retighten all my straps. I put X straps because I just don't trust this nonsense from moving forward. I mean, that's all I can call this, just nonsense, really. There's no other words for it, just nonsense, 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 and more nonsense. But I gotta tighten up everything and then get back to rolling again. And I'm doing an 8-2 split, so I only slept for 8 hours, and then I'll get up and I'll drive, and then when I stop, I'll sit for another 2 hours, and they'll give me what the difference is remaining to make it a full clock. Go from there. So that's where we're at. So that's what I got going on. Sorry about this, son. I'm trying not to look into it, but it's just not working for me. But that's what we're looking at right now. But anything new exciting happens, I will let y'all know. If not, I will show you delivery on the next video. I think this video is getting a little bit too long now. But until then, y'all stay safe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.